against each other? Is it with each other? The perfect ending to the Hardy story. Any thoughts on what that might be? Or what you would want it to be? I got some wild questions, sorry. I like to think outside the box.
The one thing I've always thought would be an amazing finish to our career, and probably Edge and Christian's career, because we all became superstars in that first ever tag team ladder match, the No Mercy 99. I mean, that, like, our reactions coming out changed, like, exponentially following that. Yes, and we were viewed as stars, and it changed the game for us, no doubt. If there was a way to do one final, maybe even a ladder match with those guys, and then maybe even all four of us call it a career when it's all said and done. That would almost be like the best way I feel like we could go out. That probably won't happen just because of circumstances. So with that being said, whoever the newest and hottest young tag team is, maybe we get to a point where someone is built up, and we end up having a match with them. Like, hey, we still believe we're the greatest champions and we're the GOATs, and if we can't beat you guys and prove it, we'll leave, and then maybe put somebody over, like give it back like that, and then go home. So I just saw the Unreal thing with John Cena, and he was very adamant about that, supposedly. And I don't know, they might retcon that, who knows? But I do know that he was very adamant about putting Gunther over strong, and I think if there was like a young, hot actor we think could give so much of the business going forward, we could put those guys over.
Yeah, I've been actually working on this match. It's kind of like my version of the final deletion. It would be this match called the Final Recovery. And it's, man, I think there's some really beautiful things. And that could be a possible last match for us, especially wrestling each other. But yeah, I totally agree with what you said about Edge and Christian. That'd be so cool. In a perfect world, if something did happen, and it is pro wrestling, so anything's possible. It'd be great if something could happen with Edge and Christian. But yeah, I have no idea. But I dig what Matt was saying about the possibilities of it ending. But I'm not thinking about that. All I'm thinking about right now is tomorrow, which is lockdown, and we got to retain these titles.
You guys learned today how Jeff folds bandana. Party exclusive.
Yeah, I do want to say this. I like when people use that term evergreen, because Vince had asked me one time, I remember we came up to Gorilla, and Jeff had a Hardy Boys hat, and he had cut holes in it, and he had pigtails, like here and here, which looked very, Vince just looked at him like, so Vince was in Gorilla, and I remember, you know how Vince wears his glasses there, right? And Vince like moved his glasses down, and he was going, and I was right up by him as I was like loosening up or whatever, and he said, Matt, why does he do that? He said, what does it mean? I said, Vince, I really don't know. I said, but whatever he does, he's cool. Like whatever Jeff does, he's like evergreen cool. Whether he's folding his bandana, whether he has pigtails, and Jeff and I think Jeff looked over and like kind of rocked his head, whatever, and Vince said, damn it, you're right. He is cool. So I convinced him, man. I sold him.
Look how cool he looks already, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's like legitimate. He's a rock star.
Wow. Go ahead, sir.
Can you guys tell me about the 6 months before Armageddon 2008, leading after, where Jeff won against Edge and Triple H, and then involved Matt after, kind of, yeah.
Bad boy.
Yeah. A lot of people are still really mad at me about Royal Rumble 2009. No doubt. I get that. And sometimes I have this little thing I do sometimes on social media where I go, X amount of years ago, says the net, right? Yeah. Every time I post that, people go, I hated you so bad since then, and you're still kind of pissed me off. They were really upset about it. But it was one of those things that there was like stories that came out and said, well, it was supposed to be Christian, but the timing didn't work out. Vince switched. It never was. It was supposed to be me, and he had done, and been as popular as we can be as a tag team. And he said, I think if we turn you heel, you have a feud with your brother, and then I ended up getting hurt at the very end of that. I was slated to work with John Cena past that, which would have been very cool. But with that being said, we started doing that story, and I think historically, Jeff's always been more popular, and me being jealous and like mad that I'm not as popular as he is, or like I'm the ECW champion and I've held it for months, but now Jeff wins the WB title now, and overshadows my reign, everything else. I mean, that all kind of made sense. And we did the thing where I turned on him with the chair. We had a couple good explanations. And then I remember Vince said, I was thinking, so your brother's house burned down. I think we're going to say you're the one who did it. I was like, Vince, that's a little extreme. That might be a little much. I think they buy that I'm jealous of him, or, you know, like I wish I could be as popular as him. But burning his house down, that might kind of jump the shark. He said,